What's up, guys? Welcome back to Chimicomics, finally.
Yep.
That's pretty much mostly my fault.
Yep.
Because I got married and I moved, so...
We lost the Chimicomics studio and are now coming to you live from... Well, not really live. From
live.
The new Chimicomics studio. Much smaller. I think we're going to have better audio quality, though.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see how it turns out. But so today, without further ado, welcome back to Novel Nook. We're going to be covering Star Wars, The Old Republic DC.
Yes.
So this is a story about Darth Malgus.
Yeah. The dude from the awesome trailers that came out for the Old Republic massive, well, not massive, MMO game.
Yeah. Which we played. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, me, Riley, and Tanner played.
It's been around for, what 10 years?
Yeah, it's been around a while.
It's been around a long time.
Probably 10 years by now, yeah.
This takes place several hundred years after the Revan book that we also covered.
But if you've watched the trailers, the Deceived trailer that is out, you can watch. We'll put a link to that in the description. It's when Malgus attacks the Jedi Temple on Coruscant and just wipes it out. That's where this book begins, pretty much.
Yeah. So it takes place 300 years after Revan. The Emperor's still the same as the Revan book.
Lord Vatayat.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I didn't remember his name.
I remember.
He's really cool, though.
Yeah, he is.
We don't really see him in the book. They just talk about him a lot. But what did you think of this book? Like, what would you rate it?
I would rate this an 8.5 to 9.5, purely because the two main Force-wielding characters were done so well.
Yeah. I'm there in the 9 range, yeah. I really enjoyed it. It's not Revan for me. Revan blew me away, but this was still really solid. Like, I enjoyed it a lot. I read it in just a few days, which is not typical of me.
What I'll say for about the two main characters, really, they're Kylo and Rey done with a moderate amount of competence.
Yeah.
Well, more than a moderate amount, but you know.
To put it bluntly. Yeah, it was a good story. And I like how pretty much half of this is from the Sith point of view.
Yeah.
I really like that.
It's split pretty evenly. There's really 3 main points of view.
Right? Yeah.
4. There's 4. One's a lot more minor.
2 of them come together.
Yeah.
So you get like a lot of them like in the same chapters sometimes, but and I joked around with you and Tanner about how there's another Star Wars novel that I like better than any of the movies ever made.
Yeah.
But it's true.
And Tanner was like, "Is Rogue One good?"
Like, yeah. It's up there. It's up there with Rogue One. Rogue One is for me like such a good movie.
Yeah, it is.
It's hard to top that.
It's honestly my favorite movie in general.
Yeah, I know you like it because of all the like military type stuff.
Competent military type stuff. That's the distinction.
But like White said, we'll get into it. It starts off at Coruscant. Malgus is leading an attack on the temple.
And he singles out the one master who's there facing him, Master Zalo. And he's the guy in the trailer that Malgus fights, just brown-haired, wears the cool Old Republic Jedi armor and has a green saber. And he can kick some major ass, just like Malgus. Yeah. And they're both fighting to try and get to each other. Malgus is cutting down Jedi, Zalo is cutting down Sith. And then they finally meet, and Malgus comes out on top, just like he did in the trailer. And while this is happening, though, we have 2 other points of view happening concurrently. We meet a new character named Zirid Qorr, and he is right now he's a smuggler, but he was a veteran in the Republic military from, he was in Havoc Squad, and if you've played Star Wars The Old Republic, the Trooper class on the Republic side, Havoc Squad is your Troopers squad. That's your unit. So that's a cool reference there. And he's going on a drop. He's a weapons deal. But when he gets there, his contact has been killed, and pirates try to steal it. So he does a really cool thing where he gets back to his own ship, the door is left open, and he drops a crate of grenades on them and blows them all up.
Yeah, they're trying to like recover the grenades, and he's like, "Nope."
Yeah, he shoots the crate and causes it to go off. His employers are not happy about that. He works for a group called the Exchange, is what they're called, and they're basically Star Wars criminal group number 147. Yeah, they're enemies of the Hutts and the other criminal syndicates like the Black Sun and whatever you have in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, they're like a competitor.
Yeah, and the only reason he's been doing this is because his wife was killed in a speeder wreck and it crippled their daughter. So his daughter is crippled. She doesn't have legs, and they are so poor on his home planet that she doesn't even have a hover chair. And it's Star Wars, that you would think those would be everywhere. She has a regular wheelchair, and he wants to give her a better life, get her some actual prosthetics and stuff. So he signs on to the exchange, but they're kind of like loan sharking him. He signed on and took a loan to get the ship so he can make the money to give her a good life.
Pretty much the more jobs he takes, the deeper he gets in with them.
Exactly. And so, we switch back to the next point of view we have, and that is from Lanier, whatever you want to pronounce it.
Before like going back to the temple attack, it's cool because they like Malgus and Elena, his like mistress.
The slave girl.
They walk in and then they're all kind of suspicious. They kill some guards, and then this team comes in with a dropship and crashes it through the front door.
Yeah.
And then they're like,
and you can see all of this visualized in the trailer.
Yeah,
seriously, watch that trailer. It's good. Like, it's better than any of the sequel movies, really.
Then that ship opens up and there's 50 Sith in it.
Well, it's dark, you can't see, and then they light their lightsabers up and it's just crimson.
Just to like set up the battle.
Yeah.
Like, that was a cool like ruse type infiltration that they had.
Yeah, and it was a Republic ship they crashed into.
Yeah, I know, with no markings.
Yeah, you remember.
I do remember.
He remembers. So, Lanier, the Jedi, she was the Padawan of Master Zalo, who Malgus fights and kills.
And she's an empath, too.
Yeah, she can very well sense the emotions of others, which is interesting as a Jedi character, because Jedi are supposed to be emotionless and have it be centered and not react to anything. So, she is on Alderaan. And if you know about Old Republic lore, at this point, the Republic and the Sith Empire are doing some peace negotiations on Alderaan. And while these negotiations happen, the Sith attack and do what is called the sacking of Coruscant, which is what Malgus did, killing all the Jedi at the temple. And they now have Coruscant held hostage so that they get a better end to the negotiations, pretty much. And Erin is really pissed off because she can feel Master Zalo has been killed through the Force, and she knows that the Jedi have to sit, and for the sake of the Republic, they can't do anything. They can't go and keep up the war and take revenge for this, and she can't live not doing anything.
And to put it into perspective, like, Master Zalo was literally her father, pretty much.
Her father figure,
like, she loved him. It was different than
it
most
was
Master
beyond
Padawans.
what a Master and Padawan should have been.
Yeah. Like, even, I would argue stronger than Obi-Wan Anakin.
Yeah. Definitely. It was like Anakin and Qui-Gon, because Qui-Gon was really Anakin's father figure, and he died really early, and Obi-Wan was more a brother.
I would have loved to see that.
If Qui-Gon had taught Anakin, we never would have had him follow the dark side. Like, there's videos about it. There's videos about it. You can watch them. Someone's probably written a fan fiction about that.
Yeah, because like Anakin and Obi-Wan always kind of butted heads all the time, but Qui-Gon probably would have been like, "Hey, that's a great idea." But
because Qui-Gon was a more gray Jedi. He didn't agree with the council about anything.
He would have sided with him.
Obi-Wan was very with the rules, more stickler, and more. He was on the council.
Yeah.
So, and Qui-Gon, they never let him on the council because they knew he would be too radical. So yeah, back to the Deceived.
So with Zerid, he at this point gets like kind of roped into a spice run.
Spice is Star Wars cocaine.
Cocaine, yeah. So they're like, hey, we'll wipe your slate clean. You won't owe us anything ever again.
But
if you make the spice run.
The spice run is on Coruscant,
which has been raised pretty much.
And it's blockaded by the Sith Empire, and they're not letting anyone leave or anyone land. So it's going to be a hard one. And this isn't even regular spice either. It's engineered spice. So if you get hooked on this spice, that's the only type of spice you can get with. Any other spice won't do it for you.
The reason this run is so important is because there's people on Coruscant already hooked to this brand. And if they don't get it to them like today, they are going to go through withdrawal and they'll be not hooked to it anymore, and then the Hutts can swoop in and steal the customers. So that's why this run is so important, and why they're willing to just let him go free. And he's like, all right, but I want 200,000 credits on top of that.
Yeah.
And half of it now.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, deal.
Yeah.
He's like, damn it, I could have gotten more.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and he says, all right, and I'm going to go, I need to take care of something real quick. And they're like, okay, we'll be in contact, but you need to get this done soon. Yeah. So he goes back to his home planet, and he wants to meet with his daughter. And his wife's sister, who's taking care of his daughter while he's away doing all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And he is very competent, very good soldier, and he knows that no one in this line of profession can know that he has a family because they'll be targeted. Mm-hmm. So he goes and drives around random places, tries to shake any tails, but he is targeted by a very competent hostile, rival gang member, so to speak, or a guy who was hired by the Hutts too.
He's pretty much a bounty hunter.
Yeah. And this guy, also a former soldier, but he was former Imperial. He was an Imperial sniper. And he, spray in a crowd, sprays.
A skulker.
Yeah, skulker is what he was. That was a slur to him, apparently. And he sprayed these nanobots onto, Zirid's bag, so he would be able to track him. Yeah. And he ends up tracking Zerid and finding out that he has a family. And Zerid...
What I love most about that is that he doesn't do anything like that. He doesn't act on it.
Yeah, he even says to himself, he's like, but I'm not the type of person who would do anything about that. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm just going to go against him directly, and that's it.
Yeah, you would think he would be ruthless, but he's really not.
Yeah, which makes what happens to him all the sadder. Yeah. So, he's actually watching...
what was his name?
Vrath.
Vrath. Shizor.
Yeah, Vrath Shizor. And it was a fake name, too. That wasn't even his real name. Yeah, it was the one he was using.
He said he barely even remembered his real name.
Yeah. So he's actually watching... so one of the things Zero does with all his money is he buys an actual lift chair for his daughter. And she is enjoying the hell out of it because she's able to move really fast.
To put it into perspective, credits at this in this story are kind of similar to dollars. Mm-hmm. Like, it's close. It's very close.
Yeah,
but this chair was 83,000 credits.
So it's a very nice chair.
So that's why his sister-in-law was like, "How did you get this money?"
Yeah, and that's
what did you have to do?
And he's like, "Don't worry, we have one last job, and everything will be fine." So his daughter is enjoying this chair, and Vrath is watching her because they're at the park, and he's been tailing them. And Zerid notices him, walks right up to him without him knowing. He's like, "Hey, friend. How you doing?" And Vrath is able to...
holding two sweet ices.
Yeah. And Vrath is like, oh, shit. But then he talks his way out of it. And Zerid, even though he's like, okay, that was weird, I have a sneaking suspicion, but no, we're fine. I'm confident. Yeah. And so while all this has been happening, we need to know that Zerid, during the war, when he was still with Havoc Squad, he fought alongside Aaron. Aaron was the Jedi assigned to Havoc Squad.
Yeah, they have a history.
Yeah, and when his wife died, Aaron was there for him to help get over it and whatnot. So they were very good friends back then. So this whole time, Aaron knows she has to get to Coruscant because her goal now is to find the man who slaughtered her master and kill him for revenge. Mm-hmm. And she knows that the best pilot who can do this is Zirid, also known as the Z-Man.
The Z-Man.
Yeah, and his ship name... Fat Man.
Yeah.
His ship's name is Fat
Man. I opened to page 1, and I immediately text Wyatt going, what the heck is Fat Man? What is he? He's like, yeah, that's the ship. I'm like,
yeah. Whenever.
Okay.
Whenever.
Fair
this
enough.
Ain't over to the Fat Man scene.
Apparently not.
Yeah. So, Z-Man, Zerid, goes back to his sister-in-law's apartment with his daughter, and he's saying goodbye to them, but he's like, I still have a feeling. So he camps out in the hallway, basically, or in a back room where he has sight on the stairs and the elevator, because he thinks something's going down, someone's still tracking him. Vrath is actually on his way up, but before he can get there, Aaron shows up. She is able to track down his sister's apartment, so she's coming to try and find Zerid. Mm-hmm. So he steps out and shoots at her. She blocks the shots, of course, because she's a Jedi. One thing that always bothered me about in the Revan book, Lord Scourge never blocks any shots.
Oh, he doesn't?
No, he doesn't. He always just gets shot, like in his armor, or actually gets shot.
Oh, he has armor, yeah.
He has armor, but he's still...
That's probably why, though.
Yeah, but it doesn't stop it completely in the book. He still gets shot and feels it. And I was like, why doesn't he just block it? But anyway, Aaron not like that. She blocks it,
well,
and Zerid's like, oh shit, it's a Jedi, and then he's like, Aaron, Zirid, I was looking for you. Yeah. So
he's like, how did you find me?
And I tracked down your sister-in-law, and I figured she would leave me. But anyway, she tells him that she needs to get to Coruscant, and Z-Man is like, well, coincidentally, I too have to go to Coruscant. And she's like, what for? And he's like, you don't need to worry about that. And so they go to his ship, but Vrath is now like, oh crap, well, they're getting ready to get on board the ship, and he contacts his team that he's had. So a team of mercenaries descends on the ship, and Aaron and Zerid are able to fight them off. I like how the technology in this book is a bit expanded upon. Like, Zerid wears an ablative armor vest, so if he gets hit, it's like ceramic, so it just breaks off instead of trying to stop a blaster bolt, and stuff like that. So they have some combat there. They're able to get back on the ship and get out. And that's when Aaron learns exactly why he is doing this, because of spice. He's a spice runner now, and he tells her everything why he's doing it, and of course, I mean, she's on a mission of revenge, which isn't the Jedi way. So she's not really one to speak anyway.
And Vrath has a whole team coming after him.
Yeah.
So they're trying to stop the spies from leaving, and they make it to the spaceport, and they're like barely making it through. Like they were just walking through, like kind of keeping a low profile, and then they find them and they have this big fight, and they barely make it out of there. I think they killed everyone except him. No,
he still had some teammates left. He talks to him and says, go to the safe house, remember? And then he's like, and they're like, well, how is he going to get to Coruscant? There's an Imperial blockade. He's probably going to fly up. What is he going to do?
Fly they killed some of them.
Yeah,
but
they do.
But he's the only one that like comes after him.
Yeah.
So he hightails it to Coruscant.
Yeah.
While they're going to, where did they go?
They go to their entire. Before we get into this, let's talk more about Malgus. What he's been doing since then.
Yeah, we'll get to them.
Okay.
But they went somewhere.
They went to a Sith planet where supply ships took off from, and their whole plan is they're going to fly in with their ship on cold, pretty much. So their enemy sensors.
They're going to latch on
to a freighter,
a frigate, and they gotta hit hyperspeed at the same time and come out of it at the same time,
or they'll get detected. And Z-Man does it,
but he's doing it manually, and actually, Aaron does it with the Force. She's slowing down time and like moving super fast so she can do it at the right time.
Yeah, and it's funny because really cool. She does it, and then Z-Man's like, "No," and he was like, "Oh,
she already did it."
Yeah,
yeah, she already did it way before he said no. So
yeah, it was funny though with Vrath though, because he's talking to his team. He's like, "What are they going to do to get past the blockade? Fly up to an Imperial ship and ask police?" He's like, "Nope, but that's what I'm going to do." And he takes off and he beats them to Coruscant because they aren't going there. But I mean, he's a former Imperial, so he's a badass. So he gets on board. He gets on board Valor, which is Malgus's ship. And before we go more on this, Malgus. One of the things that makes him such an interesting character is he embodies the Sith. He's all about war, all about death. He wants to be nonstop war, so the Sith can constantly.
He's not like most of them that like their bread and butter is politics.
Yeah,
that's how they're manipulative and they can make people do whatever they want them to. He doesn't give a crap about that.
He just wants to murder.
To kill people.
He wants to murder, but he is also deeply, deeply in love with Elena, his Twi'lek slave girl, and she also loves him. So you get that. She is the only one who uses his real name, Veridin. And the problem here is that
I really like her.
Yeah,
she's really cool.
She was a cool character
in this book. Yeah.
And so he is dealing with the political machinations of the Sith Empire, and he gets called up to his two superiors to meet. Well, one of them's his superior. The other one was his underling during the attack, and he hates this guy a lot. So
Adros or something like that.
Yeah, Lord Adros.
Yeah.
He's not a Darth. He's not at that level.
Yeah.
And then Darth something.
Darth.
You look it up.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's meeting with them, and they're talking about, oh yes, your report, and he gave me a different report, and they're doing all that bullshit. And then they drop...
Angro.
Yeah, Darth Angro. Then they drop the bomb that, oh yeah, Elena, she was wounded, wasn't she? Yeah, we couldn't permit her to get medical care on board your ship because that's only for humans.
Because Siths are racist.
Yeah, they are.
They're very racist.
They're very racist. So they dropped her off at a Republic facility, and Malgus is super pissed, and this is when he starts realizing that she is a weakness. She is his weakness, his one weakness he has. And so he goes to this Republic Medical Center, and there's refugees all around trying to get in, and they're pissed at him because, I mean, he just came and sacked Coruscant, but they start yelling insults and throwing stuff at him, but he uses the Force to do a shockwave and throw them all off around and wounds some of them even more than they already were. He busts into the hospital, and he's talking to the nurse. And,
ruthless.
Yeah, ruthless. The nurse is leading him to where Elena is, and he's like, I didn't know she was Sith. And he's like, would you still have treated her? Of course we would have. We aren't barbarians. And he's like, I will let you have that slight. And he gets Elena. She's happy to see him. She goes, Ferritin. And he carries her out. It's all very sweet. And then she sees all the carnage and goes, what happened? He's like, oh, don't worry about that. And they get back on.
She says, they're afraid of you. And he goes, as they should be.
Yeah. And they get back aboard his personal ship. And another slight is he is ordered away from Coruscant to not take part in the victory, really. They're like, Malgus, go watch the space lanes and kill any smugglers or anything trying to get by. Yeah, that's worthy of your talents. And he is pissed off at that. Yeah. And so he is aboard his flagship, the Valor. And that's when Vrath shows up and gets aboard. And he's like, hands up. He's like, don't worry, guys, that was one of you. And the troopers are taking him to the brig or whatever. And then after he gave his codes and everything, they're like, okay, Malgus wants to see him. And he's like, okay. And they get him. And then he beats up all of the troopers that are escorting him. And they're like, watch this one. He's slippery. Because he literally...
Because on the way up, they were like, he don't... They like...
He doesn't even look like much.
He was an Imperial sniper, and he's like, oh, I've heard those are some tough SOBs.
Yeah.
He goes, this one don't look like much.
Yeah.
And he gets to the top floor, and he's like...
Yeah. You remember the scene in Captain America Winter Soldier, the elevator scene?
Yeah, it's like that.
It's exactly like that. And but even then, when he is faced with Lord Malgus, he almost pisses himself. Because Malgus is a scary motherfucker.
Malgus is scary.
Yeah. He is. And so he talks to him and tells him everything that's happened about this Jedi and dude coming in with End Spice. And Malgus is like, the Force is telling me something here, so I'm going to focus on this. And so Zerid and Aaron arrive, and Malgus starts getting the Force pointing him towards these ships, and he's like, scan again. And they catch a glimpse of them, and they're like, oh shit, there they are. And they send fighters and stuff, but they aren't shooting at him because they're close to the freighters, so they're not going to shoot their own ships.
So there's like, here we go.
Yeah.
They start hopping between them.
Yeah. And he's like, all right, we're going to need to make a suicide run. And they get hailed, and they answer it, and Malgus is there with Vrath, and Zirid basically tells them to go fuck themselves. And Malgus looks up in his records, I mean, because they just took the Jedi Temple as well, so they have probably access to Jedi records now, and he looks up Aaron, because he feels the Force around her, and notices that, oh, this is the Padawan of that dude I killed. She's probably here to try and kill me for revenge.
So I'll hunt her.
So I will hunt her, because that is what I would do.
Yeah. But they make it. They make it through the atmosphere.
Yeah,
and then
they have to jump out of the...
They're immediately shot down. They have to bail.
They have to bail out. Aaron uses the Force to let
They didn't even
live.
bail. They didn't have time to bail.
Yeah.
The ship just kind of blew up around them, and they lived because of her Force shield. Mm-hmm. And so they're free falling at terminal velocity with no protection.
Zerid is freaking out.
Yeah, understandably. And so Aaron's just like, hold my beer.
Well, no, she goes, hold on to me. And then
it just slows them down with the Force, and they make it to the surface. That would be really cool to see on screen. I would love to see that.
All of this would be cool to see on screen. But they don't make money. They don't spend money on good stuff.
Yeah, Disney.
As if Disney watches our videos.
Instead, we're getting High Republic.
Yeah, which is so crap.
Who knows? It could be good.
No, it isn't. The books that have come out are terrible.
Oh, no, I knew those would be bad.
Yeah.
They look bad. But they make it onto the surface.
Yep.
And then they go...
To the Jedi Temple.
The temple.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever's there.
It's a rubble now.
They kind of fly by it, and they're like, oh, damn.
Yeah. It's literally rubble. The Sith blew it up. Like, even after they killed all the Jedi there, they blew it up, turned it into rubble.
They took it down.
So Aaron is like, we're going to have to go in through the underway. And they do.
And they do.
As you do. And they run into a droid, T7, her master's droid. And
this story's R2.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's funny because Aaron just realized that she has no idea where she's going, and they can be down here for weeks trying to find the security room to get the recordings.
Massive.
Yeah,
it's completely massive.
It's 40K levels of massive.
Like
That's a teaser.
You could wander through that your whole life and never make it to where you needed to go.
So T7 runs into her. She's like, oh, goodness. T7, my master's droid. She's very happy to see him. And then she's like, can you lead us to the security room, boy? And he goes, and leads them to the security room.
Did it roll like a ball?
No, it did not. So it leads them, and they finally see the recording. So they watch the Deceive trailer, is basically what they do. Link in the description. And they watch it, and Aaron starts watching it again and again and again, and it's unhealthy. And Zirid's like, Aaron, stop.
It's unhealthy.
And she's like, okay, yeah, you're right. But they now have a face, so they leave, and they end up squatting in an abandoned apartment building. And Zerid is they find a speeder as well, an abandoned speeder that works, so they have transportation. And Zerid is like, okay, you rest here, because now that they've seen the recording, they realize that, hey, that guy who calmed us when we were coming in, that was the guy who killed Zalo. If we go to the spaceport, we may be able to find a shuttle.
It turns out that she's faced him in battle before.
Yeah.
So she knows the guy.
Yeah. Just like Satil. The Grandmaster. Future. That's some Swtor lore.
Oh, we forgot to mention that basically the whole Jedi Order kind of outed her. They're like, yeah, this Jedi is rogue. And they let the Sith know. Like, she's rogue. If she shows up to Coruscant, she's not with us.
Yeah. They disavow her.
Yeah. So that sucks. So that's... I mean, they already knew that she was coming anyway. Before they even showed up to the frigates and stuff. They knew. I hated that part. I thought that was pretty spineless.
No, that's what they had to do. Because, I mean, literally, the Sith are holding a giant nuclear gun at Coruscant. So...
Hey.
And if they'd say, why did you guys send a Jedi here, huh?
Even then, though, I could argue there's just one Jedi. They can handle that.
Yeah.
You know, even then, they still need to play nice with the Jedi to get what they want.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, because they can't hold Coruscant. You know, they don't have enough forces to hold it. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. So, Zirid is like, I'm gonna go stake out a spaceport and see if we can find a shuttle. And Aaron is gonna stay here. And he gives her a protein bar and pats her on the shoulder. But then she's like, then she's like, I'm going to go for a walk. And she goes back to the Jedi Temple. And Malgus went to the Jedi Temple because he was sure that this is where she would go. Yeah. And he also sends Elena on a mission to get some prisoners.
Some power converters.
Yeah, go to Tashi Station and pick up some power converters and stuff like that. And she takes some of his troops and goes for that. And while she's at the spaceport that Zerid has infiltrated, he spots her and is like, oh no, that's the girl who is with Malgus, the one that we know that he cares about, because during the battle she got injured and he turned away from opponents to help her. If I let Aaron know, she may want to do something about this and it may be bad. But I don't want to lie to Aaron. This is a moral conundrum I'm faced with. I will think about it on my way back. So then
Aaron and Malgus have a kick-ass battle.
They do. and Aaron is being fueled by anger, so she's like dark side enhanced. So she is matching Malgus blow for blow.
It's sick.
It is. Like all the Old Republic saber duels, way better than anything on the movies.
Let's see. How does she get... Oh, T7 had a Zalo's saber too.
Yeah, so she's using it too.
And she like... Doesn't she throw one or something?
Yeah.
Like that? Or she led with one and like didn't show the other until like she popped it out and stabbed him with it.
Yeah, she did. She hits him in the side, so she goes for blood.
Yeah. She was all sneaky with it.
And so she ends up trading a couple blows, and then Zerid shows up. He's like, "Get on!" in the speeder, and she's like, "All right," and she hops up.
And then she goes, "Killing you won't be enough, Malgus."
Yeah, I'm gonna hit you where it hurts. And he goes, "What could she possibly mean by that?" And she threw Zalo's, she throws Zalo's saber at him. He catches it, and then as she goes away, he throws it back at her, and she just uses the force to pull it back to her. So she gets Zalo's saber back. But then your Malgus is like, "Elena, they have the recording." It's basically Kronk in Emperor's New Groove when he wakes up. And does all that stuff about that was Cusco. And then wakes up again. Like he has that realization.
So like they're on the way to the spaceport, and he has to wait because he doesn't have a ride.
Yeah.
He has to wait for someone to pick him up. So they got a head start on him.
Yeah. They get there and they spoof the systems because no one at the spaceport is running traffic control. They don't have a security system going. They just lock the doors, basically, and that's it. They don't really have much security there.
And they've closed all the entryways except for one because they're like limited with their patrols. They don't have a lot of men to put at all these different gates.
So Zirid has T7 spoof the fire control systems or whatever, the fire alarms, and now there's a hazardous substance leakage at the landing pad where Elena and her shuttles are. So everyone evacuates, but Elena and a couple troopers are just like, they just put on their mask and wait on the ship. And Malgus is trying to get in, and Aaron and Zerid are already there, and they kill the two troopers, and Aaron is sitting there with Elena. And she goes, "I know why you're here. You're killing him. You're killing me because of him, because of my beloved." And they talk, and Aaron ends up going, "I can't do it." Yeah, because she's already lost pretty much. And Zerid was...
Elena's a real one, dude.
Yeah,
like she kind of talked Aaron out of killing her.
Yeah, she has very high charisma.
Charisma 100.
No, that's speech 100. Charisma only goes up to 10 on the special scale of
Fallout.
Fallout.
Okay, dang.
No dang.
I don't play Fallout.
No, you wouldn't like it because you're like, I don't want to go through menus.
Oh my god.
I just want to kill people. I'm a murder hobo.
What a rant. But while that's going on, Zerid also found a Dragonfly class ship that he can take off world and get out of there potentially. But what he doesn't know is that Vrath is on that ship. Because,
it's Vrath's ship.
Because Malgus sent him down planet side for like a day or so.
Yeah, he said you're not leaving until we lift the ban.
Yeah. So he's sitting there just waiting until the ban is lifted.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh wait, there's a hazardous substance alarm," and he's
like, "He's been asleep the whole time."
He's like, "Is the door closed?" Oh damn! I could have sworn, and Zerid has forced the door open at this point and I could have sworn I closed that. Oh well, do I need my weapons? Nah, I'll be fine. So he goes, it's like, I'll just go close the doors and be fine.
Yeah.
And then he runs into Zerid, and Zerid runs into him. They both go, "Whoa!" and then they fight. And it's a pretty badass normal guy fight. Like, no force abilities. They're just two dudes who know how to kick the shit out of each other.
Yeah, but they're like specially trained.
Yeah, they're both special forces. Yeah,
they're using moves.
Yeah. Zerid ends up getting him, and they take off, and
he put Vrath in an arm bar and freaking
broke his arm.
He killed his arm.
Yeah,
It's
he killed
dead.
his. It's dead.
It might as well not be attached.
It's dead. And Vrath is like, okay, you got me. And he's like talking to him. He's like, hey, there's some pain.
Okay, you got me.
Yeah, he's like, hey, there's some pain relievers back there in the cabinet. Could you get those for me? Literally.
No.
He's like, no. He's like, wait, is this about your family? I'm not going to use that. Dude, that's safe with me. You can just leave me be, man. Like, we're good.
Stupid thing to say.
And
he was going to let him live, too.
I don't think so.
He was.
Well,
He really was.
If he knew, he didn't know.
Because he chickens out, and
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, I can't do that. I can't live with that. And then he's like, yeah, I mean, they don't know anything yet.
Yeah, he says yet. Like,
And he's like,
now I can live with it.
what did you say?
So he
Puts him in the airlock and says, bye.
Yeah, so while all this is happening, Malgus is fighting Aaron again. And before Zerid left, he was like, Aaron, come with me. We can go be farmers on Onderon. and
Dantooine.
And on...
Dantooine,
Dantooine is right. And Aaron's like, I can't. I have to do this. And she's like... and kisses her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did that happen?
They happen. That could have been developed. That could have been developed a little better, I believe.
I don't know. I feel like it was kind of...
They had those vibes
They
with
did.
them, but I think there should have been more interaction. Just like
did.
on the hyperspace journey, they should have had more conversation, maybe a flashback, something. Just a little bit more than... I'm very much against at the end of movies when the heroine and the dude just kiss. Because you don't have the development for romance in this. That's why in Rogue One, when Jyn doesn't kiss Cassian...
Oh, you love that, didn't you?
Yeah, I do love that because it's realistic.
You tease. Don't kiss her, yeah!
Always leave them wanting more, right?
Wanting more? They all die! The heck?
Then people wanted more.
Anyway, Aaron brings Elena, and like knocks her out. And he's like, I didn't kill her.
He's like, yeah, I'm sparing.
I want you to know I didn't kill her.
I didn't know
then
that.
he's like, all right.
Yeah, he basically says, he's like, all right. And what she does is she points her lightsaber at him and goes, you're going to let that shuttle go and leave into hyperspace and not get blown out of the sky. And he's like, you wouldn't. I would. And he's like, Captain, let the shuttle go. And so she's like, okay. And then they fight a bit, and he decides to let her go again. And
Malgus wins.
Yeah, Malgus wins.
And knocks her out.
Yeah, but then he goes, because you let Elena live, I'm not going to kill you. And so he puts her on a ship.
Which is very interesting.
Yes. And he says, all right, let the next shuttle to leave go too as well. And the captain's like, yes, my lord. And so Aaron lives as well. Here's the crazy part. This is why Malgus is the best Sith.
Malgus has been like struggling with like being a Sith this entire book. He's been like, I need to sharpen myself. I need to improve.
He needs to embrace the dark side.
Yes.
And he needs to cut out the weakness.
Yeah.
So he murks Elena. Takes the image of her dying face.
She's barely conscious.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I'm safe now.
Like,
and he goes,
yeah. Kills her. She is dead. And
she's just like,
and he uses that now to fuel his rage. And now he is stronger than ever. In the epilogue, we see that Zirid has bought his sister-in-law a place of her own, so she's fine now, and taken his daughter, and he's now a farmer on Dantooine.
He is a winery farmer.
Yeah, he's a grape farmer. He's going to be growing some wine. And he got his daughter Era some prosthetics, so she's happy. She's running around and playing. And so he's reminiscing about how all the shit he did to not be found, and then a ship flies over, and he's like,
forgot to mention, the reason he had to hide is because, like, when they, he didn't save the spice.
Yeah, he didn't deliver the spice.
It was blown up with the ship, so the exchange is still, like, hunting for him.
Yeah, I also find it funny how he went from basically having nothing to being able to be a farmer. It's like, why didn't you do that before? Like, if it was this easy.
Well, because he wouldn't have money to get her legs.
He still didn't have money to get her legs.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
How did he do that?
Bit of a plot hole here.
How did he do that?
I think he sold the ship or something.
Oh, the dragonfly?
Maybe.
Could have been.
Maybe.
That's possible.
Yeah. Maybe Vrath had credits aboard. Maybe. Who knows?
Also possible.
Anyway, so he's sitting here reminiscing about how all he did to get away and how he's secret and no one can find him. And then a ship flies over and he's like, they're probably not here for me. And then they just land right next to a farm.
And of course his daughter comes outside and he's like, get back inside!
Yeah, he goes, get back inside. But Daddy, get it now! It's just like, okay. And he pulls out a blaster and is hiding in the grape fields. And he's waiting. And then just one person gets off and starts walking out. And he goes, who the hell are you?
It's Aaron.
And it's Aaron. And she got her haircut. And he's like,
You cut your hair!
Yeah, he's like, your hair! He's like, I thought I could use a change. And then he's like, well, it looks good. And then she's like, I'm not a Jedi anymore. He's like, and she goes, what? I told you I needed a change. He's like, I thought you bit your hair. And then Era comes out and he's like, Daddy, can I come out now? And he's like, yeah, I want you to meet this person. So she introduces Era to Aaron and they get along splendidly. And it ends on a happy note.
She'll be staying for a while, right?
Yeah, they will. So, yeah. I guess they did better than now because, I mean, they're not... They just kiss. They're not fully together or anything. So they left you wanting more. And they will actually show up in a future update for Star Wars The Old Republic game. So we'll be looking out for that.
I like the ending too.
Yeah.
I was happy.
Malgus goes into the unknown regions and goes to the secret sanctum of Darth Aaron.
Now this reminded me of the Lord Scourge stuff.
Yeah.
When he invades his home and stuff.
Mm-hmm. He busts in, kills everyone. And he goes to the guy. He's like, I was hiding my real strength, so I'm gonna beat you. And Malgus is like, Malgus is like, oh really? Show me the strength then. And the strength is nothing compared to Malgus. No. Malgus wipes the floor with him, and he's like, don't worry, I'm not going to kill you yet. And then just starts torturing him. And that's how Malgus ends.
Oh.
So yeah, that's a real Sith. Not that whiny emo in the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, it was sick.
Mm-hmm.
Malgus is a G, dude.
Yeah, he is.
He's amazing.
Riley always loves the Old Republic Sith characters.
I do. They're great. They're like more evil than Darth Vader.
Oh, definitely.
It's just amazing that you can have Sith that are this great.
Mm-hmm. And you're like, why have they never done anything like this in
meanwhile,
the movie?
Meanwhile, you've got teenage crybabies.
I mean, at least...
More!
I'll say...
More!
I want every gun to fire on that man.
More!
More! More!
It's awful.
Yeah. Count Dooku is really cool, though.
Count Dooku was pretty
I would
suave.
say Count Dooku is pretty... he's Old Republic
pretty
tier.
Suave.
He's Old Republic tier. Palpatine isn't bad, either. But just when you compare him to...
Compared to this Emperor,
he's pretty much nothing.
He's nothing.
Like, Palpatine never killed the entire force on a planet.
Evil... planets conquered. I mean, it's not even close.
The Sith Emperor of the Old Republic is so evil, even Sith are like, okay, this guy needs to be stopped. Yeah, like Lord Scourge is like, okay, Revan, I'm going to help you kill this man because he needs to die.
He needs to die.
Yeah. Don't know if he can, but I'm going to let you try.
Which surprises me that his move in this story is to make peace with the Republic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's... I don't know.
Well, it gets into the Eternal Empire stuff and all that, you know, how he pretty much just says later the Sith Empire and does the Eternal Empire next. And like, remember the two brothers, the one in white and the one in black trailer?
Yeah, what's that about?
Their father is him. Like that guy.
Those two guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come with me.
But wasn't that like before Revan?
No, that was after. That was
I
during.
thought they
That's during.
died, though.
No, that's during the events of Swtor.
Yeah, but I thought they died.
Who died?
Like the son is dead.
One of them dies.
Yeah, but they died in the Revan book. That's what I'm saying.
No, that wasn't them.
They find remnants of him, like there's a tomb or something.
That's not him. That was someone else.
Who was that?
I don't know. That was someone else. That wasn't them. That was just another Sith. You're talking about the tomb on the Mandalorian planet?
Yeah.
That wasn't them.
I thought they mentioned his son. Well, what I hate is we don't have any more books about
we
this
don't.
stuff.
It's all in the game pretty much.
It's Revan and this, and that's it.
Everything else is in the game.
I mean that's not it, but the other ones are like Fatal Red Harvest, which is like a zombie story, so that's not a big story. Fatal Alliance is like a treasure run between Sith, Jedi, and bounty hunters.
And it's pretty cool.
I think a Mandalorian's in it too or something, but
it's not big stuff.
That's not big scale stuff. And then Annihilation is about a smuggler, I guess, or something.
Yeah.
I'll have to read up more about Annihilation.
Yeah, if you want to continue the main story of this stuff, it would have to be by playing Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Yeah, and I hate that.
Yeah.
I really like this.
I would rather read it as well because I'm just not into the gameplay of an MMO where it's just like, go over here, click on these enemies.
I'm that way too.
Oh, you have a hot bar. Oh, heal. Oh, ready your mana potion.
Yeah.
I want your lightsaber of Iron Gun equipped.
Then the closest thing is the Darth Bane trilogy, which I'm really excited about. But that's like 2,500 years later.
Yeah. They just need to turn the story of Swtor into a movie series.
But I have no idea what happens in that. So
no, they need to. Swtor is more mature. They need to make Swtor into an HBO series.
Ooh,
yeah,
that would be cool. That would be cool.
Yeah, it would be.
I mean, Star Wars, obviously, as you can tell, works better as a TV series.
It definitely does. Yes, as Disney knows, because they're like, new show.
All of them, new show. Yeah. I'm looking forward to the Boba Fett stuff.
Yeah, Boba Fett's gonna be cool. I'm very much looking forward to Andor.
Yeah,
that's gonna be cool.
Sounds like it'll be cool too. Yeah. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed that. If you've read it, let us know.
Yeah,
because I don't know a lot of people that read these novels, but hopefully in the fairly near future we'll be diving into the Darth Bane trilogy.
Yeah,
which I'm excited about.
But
look for, in the meantime, before then, we're going to be covering Warhammer 40k novels.
Gaunt's Ghost, first and only, by
Dan Abnett. He's a comic book writer, so I'm sure a lot of our audience has heard of him before.
Yeah.
But I know nothing about Warhammer. So
he has been asking me many questions. Because I am a devout servant.
I'm pretty much
of the
being
Emperor.
thrown into the fire here.
This is actually a really good place to start because this was one of the first books that established a lot of the phrases and whatnot.
Oh yeah,
like it's not the Horus Heresy or anything about the grander scale, but
it's
when it comes
like
to universe building,
did for
Halo. that's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I've read like 80 pages so far. So
he's in the trenches of 40 Spice.
Yeah, I'm not too far into it, but it's like it's captivating. I mean,
honestly, if you've ever heard of the Bernard Cromwell stories about Richard Sharp during the Napoleonic Wars, Sharp is pretty much Gaunt. Gaunt is pretty much Sharp in space.
Yeah, but look for that. We're gonna be doing a cast soon.
Yeah, we will.
So look for that.
Who's ready for Tanner after months of not doing cast book? Yeah, I haven't read anything.
Hopefully we can kind of sneak in a read and tell somewhere along the way.
Maybe we'll even finish our Superman in review.
Maybe one day. Gotta keep it positive.
Yeah.
Oh, we will be reviewing the Snyder Cut.
Yes.
For sure. So
I don't even think I ever saw the original Justice League.
Oh, wow. Alright, see you guys.